Hi, Amy Pearce Stone here of her Art from the Attic. Just popping in to see if you want to do another oil pastel lesson with me. Get it? Because it just popped up. I am so excited to be working with Strathmore this month. Who is excited for week 2 of the pastel series? Last week we did some oil pastels of some pretty cool color prism bubbles. Remember that? Check it out if you didn't come. I'll think about forgiving you for not being there, as long as you check it out. Week 2, we are going to do an oil pastel of an owl. And in this lesson, we're going to incorporate some of the different techniques we've learned and figure out a few things together. Since we used Strathmore's Artagain coal black paper last week to learn some of the basics of oil pastels, I wanted to use it again this week as we are adding to the things we're learning. But don't worry if you don't have black or Artagain, just use some of Strathmore's pastel paper, any color. Get the nicest oil pastels you can afford. I am using Van Gogh oil pastels, and of course I've got my masking tape, which I love. Come on, let's go. You, I want you to do this with me. You coming? Okay, come on. Why are you still sitting there? Let's do this. I like to begin by taping my paper down to the table. Now this is totally optional. I just like that it gives it a nice border at the end. I also like that it makes it stick to my table. So I'm gonna grab a darker yellow oil pastel to start laying down the lines of my owl. It would be easier with an oil pastel pencil, but I just wanted to show you that you could do it with an oil pastel itself and be okay. You just don't get quite the precision. I mean, you can, but it takes a little more effort. So I'm going to start about 1/3 of the way up on my paper, and I'm going to first sketch the line of the umbrella. So there's a curved diagonal line down, and then I do a curved triangular shape. Next, we'll draw the big eyes, the focal point of the whole piece. Just 2 big circles side by side and a beak that is drawn by, a triangular shape connecting the 2 circles underneath. Then we're going to draw this wavy line for the top of the owl's head. Going to bring it down there by his eyes so you've got 2 peaks. Then I'll draw this almond shape on that side for its wing. Then I'm going to figure out where the handle, or the rod of the handle of the umbrella juts out of the umbrella, and I'm going to draw 2 lines behind the owl's head that represent that handle. Then I'll draw another rounded almond shape to show where the owl's wing is. And I'll put more detail in it later so it looks like the owl is actually holding the umbrella. But this will give me a good idea. Then I draw the handle of the umbrella, the U shape that comes out from the wing, so we know he's holding it. Now I'll draw the base of the body with 2 long legs. Before I draw his feet, I'm going to draw a branch that he's standing on. So it'll be thicker toward the side of the paper where it comes out of, and then there'll be little branches that come out from it. Then I just add 2 circles for his feet that come over the branch and are kind of hanging on. Again, I'll add more detail later, but I just want some basic lines right now. So remember the bubble lesson from last week? I am going to take another piece of the paper, the black paper. It's going to be my scratch paper. I'm going to test colors on it before I lay it down. So right now I'm actually testing some blue and turquoise colors that I wanted to add for his eyes. So have a scratch piece of paper. It's a good idea. I am going to start outlining the tops of the owl's eyes and around the sides with turquoise. And I'm choosing to start with the eyes because it's the focal point. And for me, I find it easiest to start with the focal point and then work my way out because it helps me remember where my focus needs to be. Now within the turquoise I just laid down, I will put a layer, or scrub it in, of the white oil pastel. Now remember, you mix the colors as you lay them on. So the more you touch the 2 colors together, the more they are going to blend. If you don't want them to blend, then keep them separated. I'm going to add a little more turquoise on top because I want it to be a little darker on top. Now I'll grab some darker blue, scrub it into the turquoise at the top of the eyes. Now I am going to put down some highlights for the owl's eyes. Highlights really make the owl's eyes look big and sparkly, and I'm just going to do little lines, and I'm going to try to make them look the same on both eyes in the same spot. I'll do little lines and then a couple little dots at the bottom, and you'll see I'll tweak them a little bit to try to make them look exactly the same. Now I'm going to rub the tiniest bit of black in the center of the eyes, and I'll press kind of firmly right in the center and then taper off. Very, very subtle. I don't want the black to mix with any of the color I just laid down. I wanted the black to add a little depth to the owl's eyes. Now I'm going to grab the darker yellow, like an ochre, and I'm going to just put a little stripe of yellow on the other side, opposite of the highlights of his eyes. Be so careful not to blend it with the black, because it'll look pretty muddy. So now I'm going to get my stump, my blending stump, and I'm just going to smooth out some of the color in the eye, hoping that it'll really pop out at you. Then for his beak, I will outline it with some fiery red, then some darker yellow, pushed into the red, and then some brighter yellow pushed into both of those colors. Now we're going to add texture, and I'll speed this up because I think your eyes can pick it up, but we're just going to do chunky line layers to represent the texture in his body. So we're doing chunky lines of dark green, then light green, and I'm going to put some blue in there, and I'm just pushing the colors into each other, but not too much. Then some yellow to brighten it up, give it some more pop, and I'm going to get some purple for his wings, and I'm going to start with the darker purple, and then I'll add long oval highlights of a bright pink, and then even brighter still right in the middle of those to brighten them up. And I'm going to use the stump to blend its feathers on its wings just a little bit, but I'm going to leave the body pretty chunky and textural. Then some bright blue for just a little extra brightness and vibrancy. Then I wanted to play around with texture, so I gave him a smooth circle in his belly, went around that green that I just laid down with purple, and then blended those two with blue. Now I'm going to take some white, and I am going to jab it in the feathers on his chest to give it a chunky texture, but it's different than the lines. But then in the feathers, I wanted them to blend in more smooth. See what you can do with the different textures? It's just about how vigorous or how delicate you are with your strokes. Now for his legs and his feet, I'm going to use the same colors I did for the beak. So I'm going to outline it with the fiery red, then put orange in the middle of those, and then yellow, pushing all those colors together and giving it extra pop. Now I'm going to add some stripes. Why not? Okay, I wanted to show you how you can basically erase lines you don't want. I just grabbed a toothpick and I scrubbed them right off. That's one of the nice things about this paper, is the Artagain paper from Strathmore, is that you can scrub stuff off and your paper still holds up and has a lot of integrity. I decided I wanted his body longer, so I just scraped off the top of the legs and extended the lines of his body, so now he's longer. Now I am going to start laying in some dark blue, and I'm doing circular, big, chunky lines around the owl. And I've decided that I really want the lines of my pastels to show through. Now I'm adding some lighter blue, and I'm not blending too much. I'm just adding layers and adding colors and making it brighter and brighter as I get to the center till it's just white in the middle. And maybe you can even think of it as a moon. So maybe I wanted a moon, and so I make the middle a lot more bold and less chunky. So I'll fill in the white really prominently, but not too much because I just want it to blend and scatter as it goes out. Then I'll fill in some dark brown in the branches, tuck them under his feet there, put some yellow ochre in the branches, maybe some black underneath to give it a little more depth. And then I'm going to fill in some black with the umbrella handle. What color is your umbrella going to be? Mine's going to be red, and I'm going to fill in the red, making it a lot more thick on the sides, and I'm pressing firmer on the sides and then lifting off, tapering into the middle. Then I'll fill orange inside of that and scrub it into the sides, and then yellow to brighten it up a little bit. You'll notice that I didn't put a lot of red in the body of the owl because I wanted to save that for the umbrella. What if you want it to rain or snow? I'm just putting down lines of white all around the owl. Now, behind the owl, I'm going to make the lines lighter because the lines around the owl and above him are going to be closer to you. So I was making them thicker and longer. Does that make sense? Anyway, I kind of went crazy with this rain or snow or whatever it is. It is so pretty. It added such a cool thing. Oh, just listen to this. Peeling the tape off. If you don't love that sound, I don't know, something's up. Okay, I'll be quiet for the next one. Listen. Let's be honest, that's probably the main reason that I use masking tape. Am I alone? I'm alone. Thank you so much for doing this owl with me. Make sure you post the ones that you do of the owl. Share it on Strathmore's page. Share it on my Facebook page. Just type in her art from the attic. I'll pop right up. Same with YouTube. Join me there. This was so much fun. We're gonna say goodbye to oil pastels for now. But let's move on to soft pastels now. They work totally differently, but somewhat the same. Not really. You decide. Join me next week, week 3. We're going to be doing a soft pastel landscape. We're going to start getting a bit more, what's the word? Serious? I don't know. Are you serious? Eloquent, elegant, eloquent? Nah, no, those aren't right. Sophisticated? Advanced? Educate? No. Elegant? I already said that one. Subtle? No. Lovely? I don't know. Just come back next week. I will see you then. Thank you. Don't forget to join the forum so we can chat. So I can see what you do. Bye!